All right, it looks like we are live. Welcome to Monday's night's late night, or depending on where you are, not so late night. Gun chat, late night on the East Coast, and dinner time here. In fact, my wife's cooking dinner now, so hopefully it won't be that late. As y'all guys know, we just take user questions about firearms or movies or politics or whatever you guys want to talk about, and that's what we do here. Go through the panel and all that jazz. Let's see. Everybody in the chat, 67 Rebel, SST AMC, Brownies from a Fat, Grizzly Crazy, what's up? John Phaser, G23, hey y'all. Rock B, hey gun people, hey, what's up, Rock? I don't think I've seen you in the chat before, but thank you for showing up. Nighthawk Medit, also in the chat and in the live stream here. And Cherry City Guns is with us as too. Well, Guns and Ammo, sorry. Artac and Daughters. And let's see. Adam, Nathan Manley, Dan O'Neill, Adam Hymus. Adam Hymus. How 9000 Zigzag Ground Zero. There we go. The Bush Bunker. What's for dinner? Zachary Williams. I think we've got pike and bass and cucumbers and sweet potatoes in a stir fry. So maybe a little spinach. Hopefully a lot of sea salt. R4 Mississippi Thunder. Jeremy Kruger. Looks like we're doing well. So anyway, I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves. Nighthawk, why don't we start with you?
Hi, hey out there. I'm Nighthawk Medic from Nighthawk Medic Shoots, and I thought I'd come play with the big boys for a night. Thanks for having me in.
Oh, yeah, anytime, man. Yeah. I don't know that I'm the big boys anymore, but yeah. Yeah, go ahead. All right, Rob, what's going on with you, man?
Oh, not a whole lot. So Monday, upload day, put a new episode up today. That's about all that's going on right now.
Yeah, I hadn't watched it yet, so maybe somebody will put it in the chat so we can all go watch it or something. All right, let's see. Scott Keaton, good to see you, man. First time I've seen you here. Nice job. Nice. Thanks for stopping by. We've got James Pugh. All right. And Darth Yogi. All right. So late night gun chat, we just talk about whatever questions you guys have, whatever you guys want to talk about. So I guess whatever anybody has there. Brownies for my fat is going to make sure you share. He shares the links to every channel in here. So there's a lot of channels in the chat, including the Bush Bunker and R4 Mississippi Thunder, Artac and Daughters, John Phaser. There's a lot of channels in the chat, G23 already. And so make sure you go subscribe to everybody in here. So we got Brownies, and he'll get Nighthawk Medits in a minute. So I want to thank both these guys that are in my music video that hasn't hit 1 million views yet, but I'm thinking one day it might. So
if Baby Shark can be at 7.9 billion, you've got to at least get 1 million.
Yeah, I need people to share that video a little bit more. So all right, Darth Yogi. LMAO Chuk called a Wasser Bulgarian. Tell him to stop insulting Bulgarian AKs. Wasser is Romanian POS. All right, I will let Chuk know. Yeah, I will let Chuk know. I'm going to take a screenshot of that right now, and I'll send that to him later. So, there we go. Screenshot taken. That way he knows it comes from you. Alabama Pilgrim just got an El Patron 357 5.5 inch. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with the El Patron. Do you guys know what that is?
I am not familiar, but if it's 357, I'm interested.
Yeah, I know. That's like your go-to. All right, well, let's look it up on El
It's
Patron.
A cowboy revolver. Sorry, I was muted the whole time. It's kind of the Old West style in 357.
Okay, the Uberti.
Cool. Yeah.
Never mind. No longer interested.
Yeah, I want double action only. They're fun, I guess, for range toy, but would I recommend 155 grain or 200 grain for Glock 29? Actually, I would recommend the 165 grain because the 165 grain is a gold dot, and it'll still give you some expansion and penetration in that barrel. I've done a video on both the 155 and the 165. So I would actually recommend either the 165 or the 135 from Underwood for personal protection there. What do you guys think? What would you go? I mean, that's just based on my testing, but I would definitely go 165 in their gold dot. Now 155 is what's going to come out of the G40, but the 155 grain in Underwood is an XTP bullet, and it doesn't expand unless it has really good velocity. Lower velocities is not going to expand. So, like my 40 with the 6.5-inch KKM barrel in it, I'm going to load up 155s in it, and that's a home defense round, But now, as far as bear protection, 200 grain hard cast or 140 grain extreme penetrators. That's what I would recommend, and get you a better, stiffer spring for those, like a 22-pound NDC or something. All right, go ahead.
Nose to butt on a bear, man. That's a cooking cartridge. I always get afraid with velocities. I'm not going to get around to open up, right? Because you're really just trying to get you bad guy to leak or bad animal to leak. So I'm with you at 165.
There you go. What do you think, Rob?
Well, if you're talking like four-legged defense, I would go like a 200 grain hard cast. But if you're talking two-legged defense, that 165 gold dot's pretty damn good. I'm a big fan of the gold dot bullets.
Oh yeah. And let's see, Brownies for my fat. He put your channel link in there, so make sure you all go subscribe to Nighthawk, who's in here. All right, does a great job with that. Scott Keaton, what is the best 45 cal subcompact? That's easy for me. Glock 30. I'm a Glock fanboy, so Glock 30. I've had it for years, at least 10 or 15 years. Never had an issue with it. Never had a jam in it, even with bad ammo, except for some reloads. I forgot to put gunpowder in, and the bullet went into the rifling and got stuck. That's me though. I was stupid. I was new to reloading. All right, but anyway, so that's what I did. So anyway, what's your favorite Nighthawk? What's your favorite?
30 SF is number 1. Number 2 is the Kimber Ultra.
There you go. If you can get the Kimbers to run, some of the Kimbers just don't run out of the box. You have to tweak them.
Yeah, you have to work on them a little bit. That's why 30 SF is 1.
Yeah, definitely. All right, what do you think, Cherry?
You're right about the Kimbers. Sometimes you got to fiddle with them. I don't know if you guys saw my recent video. It was a Rocky Mountain Federation set. The full-size 10mm ran like a top. The Home Guard 9, it was requiring multiple drops of the hammer to light off rounds. But if you go in the works right, I'm actually going to be doing a video very soon on the Ultra Carry. I'm a big fan of that Ultra Carry. The one I'm going to be reviewing has been shot a lot without ever having an issue.
There you go. Yeah, some of the subcompact 1911s are, if you like them, they're good. They're a good way to go on that too, Scott. And I would also say, if you like the subcompact Springfields or the subcompact, or I guess they're more of a compact in the 320 or the M&P compact 45. But I like the Glock because you get 10 rounds in that little gun. It's amazing. So, there we go. So, you guys want to buy quality AKs by Yuko. I haven't wanted an AK in a long time, so that's that. So go ahead.
I have a 28-year-old Romanian and a what is it? I think it's 25-year-old Mat 90 now. So a lot of times when people are talking quality, I guess it just depends on how you take care of it.
Yep. Oh yeah, I saw that come in, Nathan Manley. I haven't had a chance to look at it because it came on while I was here, but Yeah, he built a receiver on the giveaway I had for my 5,000 silver giveaway. Do you anticipate gun control? Absolutely. Absolutely anticipate gun control. Will I comply with any of it? Absolutely not. All right, so when will Federal Ammunition take your real world data and get realistic with their box numbers? Woo! That was a little cold. Oh, yeah. When they look at my 10 millimeter, realistic. It takes a 6-inch barrel to get their velocities. Did I say that out loud?
Well, they've been specifying 10 millimeter for the last 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and here's the thing, though. Their HST plus P 9 millimeter or their 40-165 grain always shoots over the box for me. Like, it's a really good velocities, and their 230 grain plus P 45 is a 960, about where you expect it to be. But then you get their 10 millimeter HST and it's junk, you know?
Yeah.
And it doesn't hold together as well. So safe to shoot hard cast out of my stock Glock 40? No. You could probably get away with a round or two of the 200 grain. Don't shoot the 220 grain. And, first thing you want to do is replace the spring so there's more dwell time. So you spend your $30 and get you a 22-pound NDZ spring. Then secondly, you replace the barrel with a KKM, at least 4 barrel, and get their feed ramp modification so that it'll feed the bigger ones. Those are something you have to do on their website. So
I've got a Gen 2 Glock 17 that I shoot almost primarily powder-coated cast, and I am horrible when it comes to cleaning guns. I don't want to do it unless I really have to. That has had, couldn't even begin to tell you how many rounds put through it since the last time I scrubbed it out, and it shows no trace of leading, and it's a stock barrel.
Yeah, and so the powder coating does a big deal. Was that what you were going to say, Nighthawk?
Yeah, I actually fire Badman bullets in my videos, and I've been powder coating and running lead powder coat bullets in test guns for years now because they don't lead the barrel, and you really get to understand what the weapon does to a round. So if you're retrieving your round, how much of the rifling is actually catching, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, there you go. All right. What do you think of the Hornady 180 grain XTP loading that is advertised at 1275 feet per second? Talking 10 millimeter again. I have a bunch downstairs to test, and I tested them once. It might have been Chuke's portion of the video when we did the Springfield versus Glock. I'm pretty sure it was on Chuke's version, and I tested them then, and they did okay. For a while there, that was the only thing you could get at Sportsman's Warehouse, and you were allowed 2 boxes a day. So I went by there and bought 2 boxes a day for like several days until I filled up a 30 cal ammo can. So I got a bunch of it downstairs to test if you want to see it tested in all 6 barrels like Chuke and I are doing. But I do think you actually get better ballistics out of the Underwood, which is listed at 1,300, so only 25 feet per second difference. Woohoo! But it's Underwood. They in everything but revolvers, they typically get what they say they're going to get. And then it's Hornady. They typically don't get what they say they're going to get. Although this Wednesday's video, they do get what they're going to say, get what they're going to get. So, all right. Yep. 230 tumbles in a G20. He's saying if they're coated like Underwood, I use G20, 220 grain, not heavier. Don't know if 230 grain would do better in G40. Yeah, I go with velocity because, I mean, they're both going to penetrate the same. I proved it, 220 grain and 200 grain in 2 different videos. So I go with 200 grain, get your velocity here for pounds of energy up there. So, yeah, I bought some jacketed hollow point instead. That's probably a good one. Got a Yugo Pat pistol, very good workmanship, not front line barrel. There we go. Got a Chinese Marine. Nice.
Yeah, I paid $150 for mine, and it's now worth $1,200.
I didn't buy one for $320 at a pawn shop when I was 19 in Georgia. Yeah, I'm kicking myself for it now. I wish I had that.
Breaks your heart, doesn't it, buddy?
It does, but at the time I needed something else more. So, any reason to change out a recoil spring on G20 to shoot hardcast? Yes, because of dwell. No, because of dwell time. The chamber isn't fully supported, so you want the dwell time to be longer. So you need a heavier recoil spring. Okay, so. Yos, have you read about the social credit score China started, and now it looks like it's here? Anti-free speech. So yeah, no duh. Yeah, I mean, we got China running the White House, so there we go. Powder-coated bullets look at are precision bullets. They are swaged with the concave base, makes them less barrel picky and compared to cast. Cool. I'll have to look into their bullets. Sure, like everybody else, they're sold out, but we'll see. My new Yugo M90 and 5.56 NATO Chrome, new Zapap M78B, also now with chrome barrel. Look up Zaps of a USA website. Okay, cool. All right. What do you think of the micro conversion kit that turns your Glock Springfield into a carbine? Any thoughts? Now, there's a couple of these. There's the Roni that has a pistol brace, or it has a stock that you got to form for. Or there's the Mac, what is it? The Mac Tech, like
CAA.
16 upper. Yeah, that you can have and use your pistol lower in a 16-inch upper in stock. So there's a couple different ones. I'm not a fan of the Roni because it doesn't allow you to use a long barrel. So if I got a Roni for a Glock 20, I couldn't stick my 9-inch Lone Wolf barrel in there and have like a nice short package but a longer barrel and get the velocities of a carbine, right? So I'm not a fan of it because of that. But if you like it, they're cool. I mean, you just don't gain what you're supposed to gain. And then like a longer barrel that's threaded, you can't put in there either to use the suppressor. They're really hard to. I've never seen a Roni with a suppressor on it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. So what do you guys think? What do you think, Nighthawk?
So I have a dedicated Glock 17 for my Roni, but it's a really super specialized piece of equipment because I CCW a Glock 45. It means that my primary carry magazines will instantly run on my what I would refer to as my carbine, right? It is accurate and lethal out to 150 yards. I am not accurate and lethal with my Glock 17 outside of the Roni brace up to 150 yards. So it's a handicap for me.
There you go. What do you think, Cherry?
I've never run one, so I have zero experience to speak of. I think I would want one with a longer barrel, like the one that uses the dedicated lower, just because it doesn't seem, for me, it doesn't seem to serve a lot of purpose if you're not getting the extra velocity. Otherwise, I'd rather keep my pistol on my hip and get a regular carbine.
Yep, agreed. All right. Got the KKM barrel weight spring in a G20. Tried the 20-pound or 22-pound in DZ. And they're actually not that expensive. They come with their own guide rod, and it's a good guide rod. I'd buy both of them and see which one works better, and then you have a spare. That's what I would do. Mac 90 shot very well at 300 yards plus with tuna can ammo. There you go. Oh, John Phaser, I am so with you on this. I'm mad about all the $59 Mosins I got rid of for 2 years ago. I'm mad about not buying one like an idiot. So,
amen.
Like, I didn't want them because they were just like beat up, all the $49 ones I saw around me. So I was going to order one of the ones that was new in box, Moisins, for like $125, and I just never did it.
You know what breaks your heart? I could distinctly remember going into pawn shops and seeing Mosins from the Netherlands and Mosins produced here in the United States in pawn shops, and those things are $6,000-$7,000 now.
Yeah. There we go.
I'm lucky. I still got a Mosin that I got at Big Five Sporting Goods for $89, and it has a laminate stock, and it's a pre-war model. It's 1936, and there's a big difference between pre-war production and war production.
Yeah, definitely. I push 124 grain bullets 1,400 feet per second with a 16-inch barrel. How big do you want to make a handgun and not pick up any extra velocity? Well, see, that's funny because I was getting 1425 with Federal HST in the CZ Scorpion. That video is out there. I don't know if Brownies can put that video in there, but anyway, 1,400 feet per second in a 16-inch barrel. So, like, to me, you're not actually gaining that much because you can get that in an 8. I think that CZ Scorpion's 7.78 or 7 or 8.78. If someone have a weird number like that, but so I think you're actually, the way to really gain velocity in a carbine is to reload like the 90 grain 9mm bullet and the slowest burning powder you can find. And then you're going to actually gain because you're not going to have a lot of friction with that short bullet. But they are what they are. So, all right. Nathan Manley says, I've seen pictures of extra long barrels for the Glocks in things like the Roni. Okay, cool. Maybe I'm wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. So those things are gimmicky as AF. Oh, here we go. I want to thank Cherry City for turning his camera off. I don't feel like watching Hickok tonight. You're never going to live that down. Sorry, man. Sorry, bro. All right. Clover Tax always.
I can't be mad at Hick or at Clover. He's a stand-up dude.
Yep, he is. So, all right. Getting the CMDG 22 conversion for my Bushmaster. Any thoughts, good or bad, on this product? Just want to keep my trigger skills up in 22. It's a bit cheaper than 223 556. Yeah.
Go watch the video I uploaded today.
Okay. Rob has better thoughts on it than I do.
I shot this in an 18-inch barrel and out of a 7.5-inch barrel AR, and I've had this for a couple years, and it works great. I have no issues with it whatsoever, and I have an absolute blast with it.
All right, there we are. While we're here talking about it, why don't we just go watch it ourselves? Here we go.
You're going to skip past my cringy intro, right? One of my commenters today actually said, "Oh, that was cringy."
Yeah, I'll skip past it. Okay, can y'all see it? Is it sharing?
Yep.
When the power goes out for days
it's
at a
monetized.
time.
That's good, man.
When your freezer full of food loses power.
You just gained like a half a cent on me. Half a cent.
I understand you're the guy that needs.
Okay, we'll go past that. So let's see, Cherry City here loaded up. Now I'm getting one. Thanks.
All right, so the CMMG.
Yeah.
Thanks. Now I'm getting one. Thanks. You made me spend that money. Okay. All right.
I'm in.
Made me spend that money. So there's the link to it in the chat. If everybody wants to see that. Sorry, my son is screaming at me.
And me being a not great shooter, shooting offhand, had no problem hitting a silhouette, a 2/3 side silhouette at 100 yards with it. You're not going to get pinpoint accuracy because 223 or 556, whether you're 1 through 7 or up to 1 and 9, it's not an optimal 22 long rifle twist, but it's plenty good enough for just some fun plinking.
Yeah, just for plinking that far. All right, so cool. Purchased a Sig Cross 308 November, recall issued the next day, still waiting on the shipping box and paying that credit card bill. Oh, wow. That's not good. I've heard they're good, but accuracy isn't that great. Okay. That's about what you were saying. Just a plinker. All right, let's see what else we got here in the chats. All right, Brownie's already put it in there, so that's his video for the day. Make sure you go watch. So y'all got a sneak peek right here. I've never used one of those before, so it's cool to see. All right. It's my understanding that you max out a 9mm pistol in an 8 to 9-inch barrel. I would agree. And I'm almost to the point where I would say you do about the same in a 10mm. Y'all will see why next week's video. I've already got it uploaded. I'm like 2 weeks ahead. But yeah, NDZ also.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I did a 9mm comparison video a couple weeks ago for barrel length. I did 3.5, 8, and 16, and I got only 100 feet per second going from a 3.5 to an 8, and only an additional 50 going up to a 16. So barrel length doesn't really make a very big difference in 9mm.
No, and I think I've done like my Glock 40 or 43 at 3.39 inches, or even a Shield at 3.1, going all the way up to my 5-inch Smith & Wesson, and like there's like 150 difference between those two.
You're getting full powder burn on a barrel that long, as well as full compression, so it's not like you really need to go much above that. That's why it's one of the most popular compacts in existence.
Yeah, so there we are. NDZ also offers an extra power spring kit with 20, 22, and 24 pounds, so you can try them all in your Glock. And then they still have extras for your other 10mm. Okay, there we go. I'm happy with that NDZ spring I bought. I haven't advertised it on the YouTube channel simply because I don't want YouTube to go, oh, that's a modified gun, demonetized, you know? So I haven't told anybody it's in there, but it's in there, and it made a real big velocity on those Extreme Hunters. Those Extreme Hunters were getting crazy numbers when I did it with Chook. I wish I'd been able to get a box or two of those Extreme Hunters. That'd be my primary bear round in that Glock 40. I mean, it was over 939 pounds of energy or 900 something pounds of energy in a Glock 40 6.5-inch KKM. I mean, there are 44 Magnum loads that are that low and in the 900-pound range. So not any that we shoot up here, but there are. So still mad, jealous at my sister. She has M24 47 Yugo Mauser she bought at Big Five 15 years ago for $75. That is so smooth to make it look new rifles look like crap. All right, there we go. Yeah. You go to your local gun shows, I'm a vendor at them around the country, and they are crazy busy right now, and ammo is high as crap. Yeah, sure is. Oh, wow. Philips on the 22 conversion magazines are plastic garbage. It's certainly not a train as your fight option for a mag insurgent. Okay. Okay, Artac and Daughters has also done a video on the CMMG 22 kit. It's a good thing. Brownies, if you could find that and put it in the chat so we can let Artac and Daughters have some few reviews, go ahead. Appreciate it. Brownies is like a go-getter for my mods. I like him. All right, so missed the cheap Euro Milsurp. There we go. Says to use 36 grain copper plated 22. Yeah, there we go. I use the wife's M&P 1522 for cheap training. I really love the M&P 1522. Like my most accurate 22 before I bought that CZ probably is my Marlin 60. Marlin 60 is going to be awesome. And now that Ruger owns Marlin, I'm hoping we get micro groove barrels on our 1022s. That'd be awesome. Yeah, that makes you salivate right there, doesn't it? But
don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah, seriously.
The comment on the 36 grain, or what would you say, 36 grain copper?
Uh-huh.
You know, I've run everything. I mean, everything when it comes to 22 through that, and never had an issue. I mean, maybe it's optimal there, but I mean, I think in the video, I was running mainly CCI standard velocity. So, I mean, that's all just wax lead. And yeah, I've never had any issue.
Okay. So, all right. So I love it. Like, so I was talking about my Marlin 60. I was shooting at 25 yards and got, a little, shooting fast. So I got a quarter size group instead of a dime size group, right? Then I shoot the M&P 1522 right next to it. Iron sights, not a scope. The Marlin 60 had a scope. Same size group. So I was really impressed with the M&P 1522. I think it's a great trainer other than its weight. What I don't like about like the H&K and the Hammerleys and the Colt is your bolt release doesn't actually work. So when you slam a mag and slam the bolt release, you still have to do this in order to get it to go forward. You can't just slam the bolt release. But the M&P 1522, you can train everything is the same. You can train. And that's what I really like about it. Anybody else got experience with M&P 1522s?
Yeah, there was a guy at the range the other day who had one. He was having a hard time getting zeroed, so I walked him through the process to get it zeroed. And dude, I had to go buy one after that. I was like, I fired 5 shots of this thing and fell in love with it.
Yeah. What about you, Rob?
I actually have zero experience with 1522, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, prices are getting up big time. So, but the other day I bought a pound of powder and a thing of primer, 100-round pack of primers, and then I went and did it the next day. So now I actually have primers and powder for my 7mm 08. So, yeah. But the advantage of a 16-inch barrel is you can put a real stock on it the day after you assemble it. That's that. Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, I think having the M&P 1522 instead of a conversion kit is the way to go personally because of the accuracy. But hey, if you want the conversion kit, it's half the price of the M&P 22. Go do the conversion kit. There's nothing wrong with either. Have any of you had to use a handgun to either dispatch or deter a bear? If so, what was your handgun caliber and how close was the bear? So dispatch, yes. So I had a wounded black bear, smaller black bear, but it was a black bear. Chook told me it was big enough to shoot, and it wasn't really. But I was 10mm extreme penetrators out of the Glock 40. Both of the extreme penetrators went right through the black bear's head, no problems. Then I had a brown bear. He had to have been dead as a doornail. I shot him right through the mouth with a 338 Winchester Magnum with a 250 grain bullet. But every once in a while, he was just going like that. He's just shaking and breathing in, and you see a little like that afterwards. And it's like, okay. And so I put 3 rounds of 45 Super through his head. I actually found one, if you want to go look at that video, found one of the rounds that my buddy hand loaded in the shoulder that I'd shot through this way. And that was the one that finally made him stop twitching. I'm sorry. I get so many comments on that. Like, you put too many holes in the head I'm like, I also walked out of there alive. So I don't care if I put too many holes in the head of that bear. But I actually gave that 45 Super round bullet that I found to my buddy who hand loaded them for me. I go, this is the only known 45 Super round to kill a grizzly bear in Alaska. Here you go. And he has that on his desk at his work. And he's proud about it and tells the story to everybody. So, because he loaded that specifically for that purpose, waterproofed them for me and everything. So, all right. Have any of you guys had to dispatch a bear? Or what have you had to dispatch with a handgun?
I've got hit one with a 303 and it didn't stop him, and I finished him with a 44 Magnum. I carry a 629 as a backup, and I've dispatched a deer with a 44 Magnum also.
There you go. That was a black bear?
Yeah, they're a little bitty around here. They're about 250 pounds.
Yeah, this one probably wasn't 250 pounds. The brown bear was over 250 pounds, but the black bear wasn't. What about you, Rob? You ever had to dispatch anything with a handgun?
Not a bear. I have dispatched a few deer with different stuff. Here, I'll tell you a funny story about an animal that had to be put down. I've got a nephew who he's a great marksman, but he was up hunting a gated logging road by himself, and it was raining, and he came around a corner, and there was a cougar on the logging road looking down below the logging road, and he's been in the military since he got out of high school. He's 10 years of military, and he's always qualified expert every time it's come up. So the kid can shoot, And he was shaking so bad. He had a cougar tag. He was shaking so bad at 60 yards, he had to drop to a knee. And he was shooting a 30-06 with a 180 grain round and put one through her neck, which put her down. But he was nervous. He's kind of just a nervous kid. Like he gets real real anxious about stuff. And so it was laying on its side. I clearly did as a doornail. I mean, a baseball-sized hole, exit hole out the other side of its neck. But the tail was twitching, and that made him nervous. So he shot her directly through the sternum and out her back with the 30-06. Proceeded to get close enough to handgun range and put 3 rounds from a 40 into her. Interestingly enough, they were all at hollow point, and we found most of them hardly under the hide and unexpanded.
Yeah, so I actually had to put down a deer one time. I'm like you, I'm a pretty good shot when I'm on the range, but I had a Browning 270 that I had no confidence in. It was the least accurate rifle I've ever owned. And I consequently hate Brownings now. And I was on a very bad, I saw the deer come out the opposite direction. I was watching this field. They were 178 yards. And I just leaned over my chair, and I was not very steady on my chair. And I leaned over my chair, and I must have jerked the trigger because I know I pulled when the crosshairs were on that deer. I was using 140 grain Nosler ballistic tips at the time. I shot, and I saw that deer just go over like a sledgehammer. And then she got back up, and she started crawling away on her front 2 legs. I'm like, oh, crap. And so I literally dropped my rifle and run the 150 yards, 178 yards to the shot. So I'm running like the 190 yards just fast as I can before this deer gets off the property and over the fence, right? And I go to I was in Georgia. I had my Glock 21, and I was carrying stuff like Corbon Powerball and just stuff that was made to expand real flat. I shot her 4 times in the neck, and fortunately, like the 4th cartridge down was a 200 grain plus piece spear gold dot, and that's what actually got in there. The other ones, like she acted like she'd never been hit. So,
well, I hear people talk about 5.56 millimeter, and you get them on the news where they're talking about this god awful cartridge, and I laugh because I'm like, a 30-06 in the wrong place won't take down a 180-pound deer. So
yeah, seriously. And now that being said, I have killed 6 whitetail deer on that same property in Georgia with 5.56 55 grain ballistic tip, 55 grain B-max.
Right place.
Yeah, put them all right there. So,
yeah, around here, if you get a 150-yard shot, you're hunting in the city. You don't get a 150-yard shot anywhere in our forests here.
Yeah, I understand that. Like, once you get up on the tundra here, you can. So, okay, gonna look for some. So Greg is saying the total cost of the CMMG is going to be around $250 free shipping, but the sales stack hits you. I look at the S&W 1522 and the cost drove me away. I just want to use this for printing. There you go. Okay, that's totally inappropriate. All right, let's see. Okay.
But the answer is yes.
All right. No, good comeback to John Fazer. No politician still costs the same to buy. I don't know. They're going up in price too. All right, man. Peace and God bless. See you later, Alabama Pilgrim. Sure, it's late there. Have you tried the Winchester Wildcat? The thing runs almost everything. I have not yet. Who was it? What is his name? Big Johnson, Texas. Yeah, he's doing good. Awesome on the Bound Bear story. Our Attacking Daughters video. He says it thinks it's this one. Yes, that's it. Okay. All right. To a question. Don't all statistics say that bear spray is more effective at preventing bear attacks? No.
No.
All right. So those statistics, all right, are for bear encounters. There might be preventing a bear attack, maybe. Okay. That's one thing. While the bear is attacking you, no. All right. So if there's a bear charging at me as fast as he can, and I spray it, it's going to spend so little time in that spray, in the stream of that spray, that if it's running, that by the time it gets through the stream of the spray, especially if I'm off at a slight angle, like I should be, because I don't want it to run me over, then it's not going to spend enough time in spray to really, really get bothered by it. Okay. And so what they found is if you go back and look at the studies, a nuisance bear, a bear that's around you and you just want it to leave you alone, yeah, spray the thing. Okay. And I have bear spray on me when I go in the woods, because I usually have it in my hand, because I don't want to be walking around with a handgun in my hand or a rifle in my hand all the time, depending on where I'm hiking, right? I have it in my hand and ready to go. My left hand, my right hand's ready for the draw. Come at me. I'm dual wielding, one bear spray, 144 mag, right? But yeah, if you actually go back and read the studies and read the individual reports, a charging bear, they do not stop, because it spends so little time in the stream of the spray. So that's that. All right. I haven't had to use bear spray yet. To be honest with you, a warning shot before to a nuisance bear is probably the best thing you can do.
Amen.
Like if it's not charging, you don't mind wasting a round of ammo, which you don't in that situation, because it's a lot cheaper to waste. Even at today's prices, it's a lot cheaper to waste that than to get in the hospital with a bear mauling. A warning shot is very good. All right. I dispatched a testing mosquito the other day, one of those small little things down there, with a 50 BMG. It was awesome. Did you get that on video? All right, yeah. Here in Alaska, the mosquito is the state bird. So. There we go. That clover shot, how many shots did it take? Oh, you guys are awesome. Bet he just smashed it with the case head. There you go. I was at Twin Lakes in California vacation, and deer got hit by a drunk driver, so I decided to dispatch her in the middle of the road in front of a grocery store. Oh, wow. You weren't arrested? You weren't arrested in California for that? Bear sprays Tabasco sauce. Yeah, now that is one of the things, though. If you spray an area, you better get out of it, because it is a food smell of the pepper. It's a hot pepper, and that smell drifts from miles to a bear's nose. You got like 10 minutes to get out of that area, or not. If you spray a bear, you better get the heck out of that area. Go the other direction. All right, because there's going to be more bear coming, just from the strong smell of food. All right, that's what you're doing. You're making a strong smell of food when you spray the bear. All right, all you're doing is peppering yourself. The moment I got a G20 out of the car, everybody started to scream, lost their mind, so we just waited for her to die to move her out of the road. Saddest moment, because their little kids were watching. Oh, okay, gotcha. It's a good flavor enhancer. Yeah. Oh, when bear spray first come out, it's been told that people like sprayed it on themselves, thinking it was like mosquito spray or mosquito repellent, like, because it was called bear repellent. Nope, they got 8. So, yep, I can't agree more.
I always deploy bear spray the way your rangers do, nuisance bears, right? You see them, a guy covers with a rifle, and they get out and they area spray to get the bear to walk away.
Yep, pretty much. That's the way I would use it. So, Wild Outdoor Bros. Hey, how's it going, man? First time seeing you on the chat. Thanks for stopping by. So we're just talking about bear spray, and is it any good? I kind of agree with White Space Marines here. It's good in flavor enhancer. Yeah. Spray your liberal friend you take fishing with you. I'm just kidding. Just kidding, YouTube. Not advocating violence.
Yeah, don't take your liberal friend fishing with you. Come on. He was just making a joke.
Yeah. So. can relate to your state bird. When driving from Indiana into Minnesota, they actually have a statue at the rest stop of a mosquito that says Minnesota state bird. That's funny. They have big. Why do they have big mosquitoes in the north? Like the winter should kill them. Like it's crazy. The Knights who say
it was the same way where I used to live in northwestern Montana by Glacier Park. We had the same joke about it being the state bird. Absolutely huge.
Yeah, definitely. The Knights who say yeet. Oh, that's the best name I've seen on YouTube. Yeah, that's good. That's good reference right there. All right. How do you feel about the 45 Super Round? Love it. I love my 45 Super Round. Yeah, it's awesome. I hope to get it back down to Georgia for a deer hunt sometime or something like that. That'd be fun to just hunt with that. Hunt with like 200 grain hard cast whitetail deer, or even the 185 grain XTP. So I'd love to do that, but I love the round. I got plenty of videos on it here. Mine has a 6.61 inch lone wolf barrel in it, so I'm 460 rolling without almost 460 rolling velocities without any of the 460 rolling pressures on the frame. So yeah, I appreciate it. So evening Ghost, what's up, man? All right.
What's up, Ghost?
So anyway, all right. Let's see. A Quay Bear spray with gun-free zones. Agreed. All right. I'm in small black bear country, but I'm considering going to a 10 millimeter while bow hunting, going from a 686 plus to a GP 100 Mass Champion Insight. I think 10 millimeter revolvers are handguns. Yeah, it's like, why would I go 10 millimeter and lose the advantage of all my rounds? Number one. And then the cylinder gap actually takes, for the same length of barrel, takes about 50 to 100 feet per second off. I think Military Arms Channel did a good video on that at some point. Actually takes 50 to 100 feet per second off of the depending on the ammo and how big the cylinder gap is. The advantage to a 10 millimeter revolver is because of the way that you can shoot 40 Smith & Wesson without having to worry about it head spacing on your extractor most of the time. So it's go ahead.
Black bears are quick. I like both a primary and a secondary that I can get through pretty fast. I hunt an infield rifle because you can run the bolt real quick. And my 629 as a backup means I get 6 shots of 44 Magnum, loaded out the ears. If I don't get through those, your rifle should always be your primary. So if your primary is going to be weaker than your secondary, make your secondary real fast, because by the time you're in trouble, you better be able to unload quick.
Yeah, agreed.
Can I ask what you use for an infield rifle?
Yeah, I have a Golden State Arms infield that was mauled and turned into a Ghetto Fabulous Jungle carbine.
So I've actually got something very similar sitting across the room from me. It's a Golden State Arms as well, but it's an Enfield model of 1917. It's still in 30-06.
Gotcha. No, this is a 303 British. It's a 1918 model.
Okay.
And, yeah.
I've got a Wildcat custom rifle built on a model of 1917 action as well. It's called a 300 Kodiak. It's like a 300 Weatherby, but instead of radius shoulders, they're all sharp like a normal round.
Yep. Beautiful.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Chuck, do you consider the 454 Casull the largest handgun that is useful with relatively quick follow-up shots? I saw your comments on the 460 and 500. Depends on the gun itself. If you're talking shorter barrels like the 5-inch 460 and like the 5.5-inch Toklat, the recoil isn't that much different. They're both pretty hefty. I still say the 460 with a good 460 load kicks more, way more. And so, that's why I'm sticking with 44 mag myself. In the 629 Classic that I just got, but I think that if you can, it really depends on the shooter. If you can do quick follow-up shots with the 460-500, great. But most of the quicker follow-up shots are your 8-inch barrel guns with a good muzzle brake on the end, that kind of stuff. So, I would say the 454 Toklat is as big as I would buy, or a 454 7-inch. But if you would buy something bigger for you and you can handle it, it's fine. What do you guys think? Nighthawk, what do you think?
I'm about 6'1" and 232 pounds, and 44 Magnum in a stressful situation is about the heaviest cartridge I want to figure on unloading 6 shots in rapid succession with. He could be a much bigger guy than me, right? That could be 454 could be easy, especially if he got something that was ported well. He could probably deal with that, but 44 is it for me.
Yeah. What do you think, Rob?
Well, I'm a much bigger man than you, and I wouldn't want anything more than a 450 or a 44 as well. Also, I mean, I love my 500 Magnum, but if I'm going for protection, I want more than 5 shots. I want at least 6. So yeah, 44 Magnum. You really don't. I don't know. I don't really think you need a whole lot more than that, especially with the right loads.
All right. Sheepman 220 says, "Good morning. 357 mag or 45 long Colt under lever rifle for hunting deer." I say go 45 long Colt, but it really right now it's whichever one you can find the ammo for or find the ammo components for if you hand load. That's the right answer right now. But if ammo is not an option, you go 45 long Colt, and in my opinion, because bigger bullets transfer their energy better. But I mean, Rob had a great video of getting 1,800 feet per second out of a 357 Magnum carbine too. So you're probably actually going to get a little bit better feet per second with the 357 Magnum. So it'll be flatter shooting if you're hunting, happen to go across a field and you see one at 150 yards. To be honest with you, I would use a rifle caliber for deer. But if you want to use a short lever gun, that's fine too. So depends on what you guys like. What do you say, Nighthawk? 357 mag or 45 long Colt for hunting?
Boy, I like the velocities on the 357 mag, but around here, 45 long Colt's going to deal with the terrain and the bushes better.
There you go. What do you think, Tracy?
I really love the 357 Magnum. Now he says under a lever rifle, he's not saying the lever rifle has to be in the same caliber. I mean, maybe he's carrying a 30-30 or 45-70. I'm just taking it as what do you want for your sidearm? If it was a rifle caliber lever rifle, I would just stick with a 357 mag. If you're doing a pistol caliber lever rifle and you want something where you're carrying the same ammunition, sure, 45 long Colt.
I've never heard of being able to shoot 40 Smith & Wesson as a positive. LOL. Hey, I got like a magazine of 40 Smith & Wesson right here, and I can tell you for sure that I think these actually, the HSTs from Federal, actually perform better than the 9mm HSTs from Federal. I got to do a ballistics gel test on that soon. I've been meaning to do it for months. It's going to be called 40 Smith & Wesson Still Beats 9mm. Been meaning to do that for months. I personally would rather carry 9mm, even though I know that these 165 or 180 grain Federal HSTs beat the 124 and 147 grain Federal HSTs. But like I said, I still carry 9mm because I can get practiced ammo cheaper, and a 9mm has never blown up on me like a 40 Smith & Wesson has. So congrats to R4 Mississippi Thunder. He's going to send me some backstrap.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about right there. The Raging Bull 454 looks badass. Says Ghost Tactical. I'll never buy a Taurus because I think they're junk. But
they've come a long way.
That's what they keep saying. And then I have some in the counter at Cabela's when I was working there this summer that I could judges and a tracker, and you could just close. You could close the cylinder and sit there and keep spinning the cylinder. We sent 5 revolvers back this summer that haven't even been fired yet, except for their little test fire. So
I'll give them credit for their autos. They've done a lot of good things with their autos, but I still think their revolvers are cheap.
Yeah, I mean, you can just feel the metallurgy in their autos and go, this doesn't feel as tough as a Glock slide. Like you can just feel it. I don't know. I'm not a metallurgist, but you can just literally touch the metal and it feels thinner or not as hard or something like that. So, all right. Hopefully that's not what she said. Sorry, I couldn't resist that one. Sorry. All right. 40 Smith & Wesson is just the 10 millimeter for men who have nothing to prove. Oh, whoa. There we go.
I'm sorry, man, but I think you might be high as a kite.
Yeah, whatever. All right. Saw way too many bad things about the Raging Bull. It is a shame. I have one in stock at my LGS and really wanted it. Yeah, I mean, it's a Taurus. I mean, I'd never buy a Taurus just to rely on. I'm interested in that little TX22 pistol. I think that's a cool little pistol. But, I'm like this guy. I'm just sticking with my 629 Classic 5-inch.
Amen.
There we go. When's the next hunting video you're doing? When I actually go out hunting. I do mostly ballistic videos, and I only do so where I draw caribou tags that you get 1 caribou per year, and if you go at the right time, you can also get a moose. So that's where I'm going. What I'm doing. That being said, I'll do some black bear hunting in the spring. Maybe some fishing videos of fishing for some salmon. But I would not. Just maybe I'll get out here and do some coyote hunting soon. I'm hoping to do that. I know a couple of good places near me where I've heard coyotes. So there is that, and there's also wolves right around here. I think they're legal. I'd have to check the regulations. So it's that. Agree. I love my 629 Classic 5-inch. I hadn't even shot it since I bought it, but I bought it from a guy who let me borrow it for some videos last year. So there we go. My daughter handles 40 Smith & Wesson, no problems. There you go. It's all about how much you want to practice. Speaking of underwooded Extreme Hunter, I ordered 2 boxes a few months back because Extreme Penetrator was not available, but Extreme Hunters was. I received 2 boxes of Extreme Penetrators. Well, I guess you got what you really wanted, right? I want 2 boxes of Extreme Hunters. I really do. It's funny how everyone swore by 40 Smith & Wesson 10 to 15 years ago, and now it's almost just ignored. Yeah, it really is. Go ahead.
40.
Well, yeah,
the result of a mistake.
What's that?
The result of a mistake.
Yeah, cutting down the 10 millimeter was a mistake.
Yep.
They should have. They should have designed the round from the ground up because it had so many pressure problems to begin with. I've had a 40 blow up on me, and it's not just the Glock. I've heard of it happening in Beretta 96, a Springfield XD, and several other Glocks. But yeah, I've indoor range, occasionally 180 grain ammo. Now, if you shoot 165 in less than a 40, it typically does not blow up. But and now they all have better chamber supports, and they're not trying to load 40 155 grains at 1,300 feet per second anymore,
Yeah. Well, but if you go back even further than that, the mistake was judging for the results of the shootout that the 9mm cartridge was the problem, right? There was never anything wrong with the 10mm. It's just that everybody can't handle it. They invented a cartridge that would eventually become obsolete and is rapidly heading that way because it was solving for a problem that didn't really exist.
Yeah. The problem in that Miami shootout was marksmanship.
Yep.
So,
well, and full metal jacket bullets too. You got to have the proper load in a 9mm.
Yep.
You can't expect ball round 9mm to be worth the crap at a shootout.
Yep. Yeah, I saw this 357 Velocities as well. Our former Mississippi Thunder did that as well. So John Fazer, well, drunk driver drove off red, but both my posts I didn't shoot. Lost their mind. Oh, okay. He's talking about what happened there. All right. What's a better hunting rifle, 6.5 Creedmoor or 30-06? Just your opinion. I love my 6.5 Creedmoors. 30-06 is the answer. I have 3 6.5 Creedmoors and 0 30-06s in my repertoire right now. 30-06 is the answer to that one. I love my 6.5 Creedmoors. I have taken a Caribou with my 6.5 Creedmoors, and it's sledgehammered her right there. But when you're talking about hunting, you're typically talking about inside of 300 yards. If you're in whitetail country, you're typically talking about inside of 100 yards. And the more energy, the bigger bullets that transfer the energy better are there. You know, my 6.5 Creedmoor that I was hunting with and got that Caribou with, it shoots 1/2 inch at 100 yards when I do my part, and 1.5 inches at 300 yards. And that Caribou was right at 282. So and it was sighted in for 300 yards at the crosshairs. So I just put the crosshairs right on her and pulled the trigger. No big deal. So, love the 6.5 Creedmoor. Absolutely love the round. 30-06 better round. What do you say about that?
I mean, I have a Spartarized P17 that I would feel good about taking anything up to a moose down at 600 yards with 30-06.
There you go. What do you think, Cherry?
If you're limited to just one rifle, 30-06, unless I don't know. If you did nothing but deer and antelope, and you never wanted to go after a moose, you never wanted to go after an elk, any of that stuff, you'd get by just fine with the 6.5 Creedmoor. But if you want one of those rifles to do anything in North America that you want to try, 30-06 is the answer.
Yeah, agreed there. In fact, Rob has a video on the 270 versus 30-06. I have one too. It's kind of old. I did like this year, a couple
270 versus 6.5 Creedmoor.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. 270 versus 6.5 Creedmoor. And he and 270s built off the 30-06 cartridge essentially, right? And he has Rob's video is called 270 destroys 6.5 Creedmoor. And that's what's coming out this week is another 270 versus 6.5 Creedmoor with the 120 grain GMX. And I was thinking that 6.5 Creedmoor would get kind of close because it's getting over 3,000 feet per second. Yeah, go look at the video. I still like the 6.5 Creedmoor, but I've noticed the 6.5 Creedmoor round in a full monometal bullet, or not monometal, but in like a full copper ballistic tip, like the tip TSX, the LRX, or the GMX from Hornady and the Barnes bullets. Like it'll hit and it'll deflect some if it hits bone. In fact, in that Caribou, that 127 grain LRX hit her right here, and it came out the top of her back, about midway down her back. So it hit and went in and deflected, which is great because it dropped blood pressure really well, and it did a lot of damage going through there. And it didn't actually damage that much meat compared to the 7mm rim mag I usually hunt with. So yeah, I would say go 30-06 in that one. But yeah, both Rob and I have 270 versus 6.5 Creedmoor videos out. So does Ron Spomer. So does a few other people. Chuk has one. Yeah, there really is no comparison as far as bullet weight and advantage. Now, if you have a properly loaded 140 grain bullet that has a high BC in the 6.5 Creedmoor, that's what it's made for. Low recoil with a high BC, it's going to carry more energy at 500, 600, 700 yards, even than a 30-06, right? With the similar load. But in general, for most people, 30-06 is just better. Of course, I can't find any ammo right now, so just about. There we go. Hey, Gabriel's good to see you in here, man. I was reading that Wild Bro Outdoors. The real problem is Taurus, at least in the autos, is they introduce 8 models in 5 years, and none of the mags are compatible. That's a good point.
Yeah.
It's not about them having to get shipped back a bunch. Yeah. They actually have improved. Their autos don't get shipped back as much, but that's that.
All the hate for the Turkish shotguns, and there isn't a model that's been made in the last 7 years that the magazines weren't reverse compatible on. My first MKA 1919 works with all of the modern stuff.
Oh, cool. If you could get LRX or I'm thinking he means GMX rounds, the 6.5 might be interesting, but that's not really available. Really? I got 500 rounds to load up downstairs of LRX, and I've got, I mean, nothing's available now, but it's on the shelf. When the shelves are full, it's on the shelves. And the TTSX, don't forget about that one either. So it's on the shelves, yeah. Yeah, those bullets, I mean, I got LRX. I killed a caribou with the factory LRX 127 grain. It's on the shelves. Well, it was on the shelves. All right. I have that Taurus 22. Other than a mag having problems, it seems to work well. And there you go. Chuck likes his 6.5, but you need pretty tough rounds. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. It's I'd say. Glad you picked up the classic great guns. Yes. M. Gabriel, were they using ball? I guess he's talking about the Miami-Dade shootout. Were they using ball?
So there was a mixture of that and 38 special. Some of the 38 special was hollow point, but not all of it. And most of the 38 special shots were taken, never made contact.
Okay, there we go. All right, Rob, were you going to say something about that?
Oh, I was just saying that's what I understood.
Okay. 40 is okay, but look at 357 SIG. That should have been the way to go. Wild Outdoor Bros. What's a better hunting rifle, 6.5 Creedmoor or 7mm 08? That's a tough one. I do have a 6.5 Creedmoor versus 7mm 08 video. It's one of the more popular videos on my channel. And I was using 140 grain Federal Fusion. I was shooting at negative 15 degrees. So even with 22-inch barrels, not the one of them got their velocity, negative 15 degrees. So neither one of them got their velocities. So it was, sorry, I got dogs coming in right now. All right. So I like them both. I mean, 7mm 08 has killed game animals, plenty of game animals. Now, here's the cool thing. If you're doing the 6.5 Creedmoor for the high ballistic coefficient bullets, most of the rifles in 7mm 08 are 1 in 9 to 1 in 9.5 twist, so you can do the 162 grain or even the 166 grain A-tips and in 7mm 08 and have a high BC bullet that's going to deliver the energy downrange. So you can do that. As a hunting rifle round, they're both good hunting rounds. I would say 6 one, half dozen the other, doesn't really matter. The right answer right now is whatever ammo is on the shelf in your area. If there's plenty of 6.5 in your area, you're buying a 6.5 Creedmoor. If there's plenty of 7mm 08 in your area, you're buying a 7mm 08. All right. If there's both in your area, you're buying both. All right. Anybody else got any advice on that one? Go ahead, Nighthawk.
So I'm 7mm 08. And what you said.
Yeah, the ammo availability. Rob, what do you think?
You know, the 7mm mod 8 to me seems a little more versatile. I mean, it's not a incredibly much bigger hole, but I always like having a little bigger portal to help the blood pressure drop. And you know, I think the recoil is really, really similar. 7mm 8 is a pretty darn good round, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And also,
yeah,
I would kind of be pushed to the 7 mod 8 because the incredible popularity of the 6.5 Creedmoor. Big popularity kind of turns me off.
There you go. Yeah, I absolutely love my 6.5 Creedmoors, but I also own a 7mm 08. And I'm going to have some videos on it soon, actually. In fact, I got a bullet here sitting right here. This is a Fort Scott Tui ammo that I found in 7mm 08. And it's the tumble upon impact. Ooh. And you can see it doesn't have a lot. Like, this place is indented here. so it doesn't actually have a lot to grip on the rifling. And at 60 yards, I was getting an 1.5-inch group, which is terrible. But the nice thing is that box of ammo had Lupua brass, and so now I got some nice brass for my 7mm 08, right? But you can just see that it's terrible. And of course, this one hit some pork ribs, tumbled through the pork ribs, tumbled through the water jugs, but tumbled up and out, hit my piece of plywood on the back and landed in front of the table. And like I said, that video is probably going to come out in about 3 or 4 weeks. And what I did is I actually pulled these bullets, since they're solid copper, loaded them into 7mm rim mag, and shot them at the caddy, another piece of brand new caddy armor steel plate. And loading those 120 grain bullets in 7 rim mag, the loading manual was for a 24-inch barrel. Mine is a 26-inch barrel. They were going an average of 35.78, I think. And so you guys
can even deform,
think whether or not. Yeah, this one is the one I shot through the ribs from the 7mm 8, and it's a little bit deformed in the tip right there. So just the tip.
That thing almost looks like you could reload it again.
Yeah, other than the grooves of the rifling on the bullet, sure. Yeah, you could. Yeah, but they had great Lupua brass.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that made me salivate. Anyway, but yeah, so that was cool. I love the 7mm 8. I have a Ruger American Youth model, the compact model. It's an 18-inch barrel 7mm 8. And my plan is to load, I found some powder that would work, some BLC2. And my plan is to load it, BLC2, and to get it I was going to load about 1/2 grain to a grain below the maximum charge, and use a Magnum primer and see if I can get a pretty good powder burn that way with 120 grain tipped GSX. I figured that'd be a good, solid, non-kicking load for somebody who wanted to get started in youth hunting. So I was going to load a bunch of those up, test them, and then save them until Barrett, this baby you heard screaming earlier, is old enough, right? So there's that. The shortages saved the 40 Smith & Wesson and 357 SIG again, although 357 SIG is my favorite pistol round. Yeah, shortages do. James Pooh saying 7mm 08, 30-06 every day over the Creedmoor. Hunting. For handgun moose hunt, keeping it 60 yards and under, using iron sights. So you think the 44 mag shooting 300 grain would be okay for broadside shots? Yeah, why not?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no problems there. Rob, I'm sure you agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6.5 is just the new trendy round. Not necessarily. It actually has good design. So it's in millimeters, so it sounds cool. So
for punch and paper between quilting circles, I keep telling you this.
Hey, I keep telling you, 270 is like 30-06 for women.
It is.
And 6.5 Creedmoor is like 6.5 by 55 Swede for those who like science.
No, 270 is 30-06 for guys who like speed, flat trajectory, and still a whole lot of energy left when it gets there.
So much hate for a great round.
Yeah. We're just teasing each other. Like any of those are good rounds.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They'll all do the job, especially in lower North America. You get up to Alaska, you need 7mm rim mag, but for the rest of us.
Yeah. 300 Win Mag, insanely versatile round. Meat Eater just did a really good article about 338 versus 300 Win. Yeah, I actually agree. 300 Win Mag is the most versatile round in America, in my opinion. Simply because if you hand load, you can load a 110 grain VMAX at like 3,700 feet per second and shoot varmints all day long, shoot your gophers and stuff at 300, 400, 700 yards, whatever. All right. And if you want to, you can throw a 220 grain lead round nose hard cast DGS bullet in it and punch the daylights out of a brown bear. I mean, so 300 Win Mag is the most versatile round to me. I wish I owned one right now to do some comparison videos with. Chuck said he was going to buy one, and then he bought a 338. I love my 338 Win Mag, but for me, it's moose and brown bear. That's my moose and bear gun. Like I'll hunt most of the time this spring with my 338 Win Mag. That's just what it is, you know. And I've got to get some loads up. Rob, can you text me some loads for that? I got IMR 4831 and some H1000V powder and 225 grain nozzle partitions and two 50 grain Barnes LRX. So I like both of them. They're both good choices to me, but it's just whichever one's more accurate, right?
I really enjoy 4831, especially you get the 4831 SC. Although these days you take what you can get. But yeah, you know, I agree. The 300 is definitely more versatile, 100%, but it can't compare to the 338 when taking on large animals.
Agreed. There are many guides on the Alaska Peninsula where they have the really big bears, and on Kodiak that won't take you if you have less than a 338 Win Mag. They're old school. I know the 300 Win Mag is the most popular rifle caliber in Alaska. When I went to buy my 7mm 08, it was a cheap Remington on a Black Friday special. I figured I'd just build out. I wanted to buy a 300 Win Mag, and they were already gone on Black Friday. I got there a few hours later because I needed to do something else at the time, and so forth, so and behold, all that jazz. I ended up with a 7mm Rim Mag because I figured if you put the right bullet in the right place, it doesn't really matter caliber, right? So that's the way it ended up. Gorilla says he has the Performance Center 629 Stealth Hunter in a 7.5 inch, as well as the 5-inch Classic. The Stealth Hunter is the one he would use. Yeah, you're fine with that. Nighthawk, go ahead. You're going to say something?
I was going to say, it seems like maybe they're old hunters because they were using the 300 Win Mag.
Yeah. Any thoughts on the Henry Long Ranger in 6.5? I want one, but I've already got a 357 carbine for deer in here in Shenandoah. They're in the Shenandoah Valley. I've driven through there many times. My dad's family's from Tennessee. 6.5 is all you need. You know, if you get the chance to hunt farms where there's deer that come into fields, yeah, the 6.5 is going to be better than your 357 carbine. But if you don't get a chance to hunt farms, if you're in the deep woods, you know, I would go 308 in the Henry Long Ranger if I were in the deep woods, just because you can load 180 grain bullets. But then you can load 180 grain bullets in the 357 carbine and just be just fine too. So 50 grain silver tips, that's nice. It's cool. Have I even come close to catching up the chat yet? Probably not. I know the 22 LR is unreliable, but actually the last Taurus I owned was the PT22. One shot in between malfunctions, sent it back 4 times. That's why don't buy a Taurus. Controversy was one bullet expanded, but stopped just short of the heart. The man shot was mortally wounded, but not incapacitated. Okay, so we're talking about the thing there.
84.
Yep. Second Amendment for Canada. Number 1, all humans on Earth have a negative natural right, regardless if government or order follow force arms recognized. Okay. All force arms that violate any right, any human is a coward, traitor, and evil. I agree. Like the Second Amendment is not an American right. It is your God-given right, or whatever you endowed by your creator, whatever you believe your creator. I believe it's God, but you know, if you believe the Big Bang created you out of nothing, it still gave you rights, right? You as a human being have rights, and those rights are protected by your right to defend yourself. All right. And yes, you absolutely have it. I don't care if you're from Zimbabwe or France or America or Australia or China or Timbuktu, which is actually a real city in Africa. You have the right to defend yourself with whatever means necessary, and you have the right to defend yourself from your oppressive government. And that's what the Second Amendment is here for. And I love your name, Second Amendment for Canada. I've seen you around and watched your videos and stuff before. Everybody go subscribe to him. But yes, absolutely 100%. All right. You know, I'm wearing right now, all gun laws are infringements. Okay. So all gun laws are infringements, and that includes Canadian gun laws. So, all right. See if I can cause an international incident here. mostly 38 plus P full metal jacket. They weren't allowed to actually carry 357 mag in the 38 special revolver, just because you can't carry 357 mag in a 38 special revolver. But
kaboom!
I was gonna say, man, I hope not.
Yeah. Are there any decent video of long range harvests on speed goats with the 6.5? I don't know. I haven't seen
I would
any.
imagine.
Yeah, I would just look up goat hunting. You know.
When he says speed goats, he's talking about pronghorn.
Yeah. I've actually seen some out there, 700 and 800 yard shots with 6.5. I don't remember who I was watching or what. I subscribed to them because I subscribe to everybody because I'm a subscription. I'm easy when it comes to subscribing because I want people to subscribe to me. Yeah, kind of read a 21A, 22 LR. I can do a mag dump after mag dump with no jams and with the right ammo. Some ammo it just hates. That's 22 LR for you. Some ammo it just hates. Thinking of calibers, you should think in families: 30-06, 270, 25-06, not to mention 280 and 35 Whalen in there. The other family would be 7mm 8, 308, 243, and 260. This is not to say you can't cross over, just saying, yeah, when you're comparing them, that is correct.
Man, I always think 30-06 and 308 when I'm thinking families. I don't even think about the grandkids.
Yeah. I actually kind of agree with this. 6.8, 338 Lapua Magnum, and 50 BMG. Like, I kind of agree with this, as long as the citizens can have it too. Whoa, I'm way behind on the chat here. Here we go. Personally, I wouldn't trade my 30-06 M1 Garand for any 6.5 Creedmoor 2.5-inch groups at 300 yards. I wouldn't either. Oh, not with that. All right. Glock 23 and 40 Smith & Wesson, you can get a 357 SIG conversion barrel and a 9mm barrel, and you should be able to find one of those rounds. There you go. Hopefully. I can't find any of those rounds here. That's not true. I bought a box of 9mm the other day. It was the Plus P Plus penetrator from Buffalo Bore. They're all copper, or their copper full metal jacket hard cast bullet in it. It's a hard cast and then coated with a good copper, and it's pointed a little bit more. It's actually a nice round. I've shot them on the channel way back when I made terrible videos at the shooting range, and I'm going to do a best 9mm bear defense video at some point just to see what it does. But I've got extreme penetrators, G9 Woodsman. I've got a couple of different things going on there. So, do you think Hornady is going to be filling out those free bullet offers with all the dies and reloading kits that went out? I've bought several dies since then, and I have thrown away the stickers. No, I don't. All right, I shouldn't have, but they're not going to fill that order. No, they don't have anything to do that. So, all right, what do you guys think about that? Nighthawk, Cherry City.
Plausible deniability.
Yeah.
I would hope they stand behind what they say they're going to do and send them if they say that's what they're going to do.
I struggle with that because their CEO got on national news or whatever and whined like a child that people were mad at him because they couldn't get ammo.
Yeah, we'll see.
I didn't like his video. There's a few other guys that put out videos, and it was basically the same message, but the approach and the attitude was different.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of those videos. I know it's going to be bad for a while. So, all right. Let's see. Veteran Dad Tactical, good channel. Y'all go watch him. Gerald Honey. Hello, good to see you again, man. Springfield 10mm doing? Has it broken yet? Just kidding with him. We give each other a hard time. Springfield Glock. Evening again. Second minute from 338 Lapua destroys 300 Win Mag. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I would hope so. 338 Lapua destroys 338 Win Mag.
Yeah, definitely. 6.8 SBC should replace 5.56. No. Typically, I would agree with you, but all the body armor nowadays can stop 5.56, and if it stops 5.56, it'll easily stop 6.8 SBC because the extra mass means in the same powder charge, same powder capacity in the case, just about. I mean, a little bit more in the 6.8 SPC, but you're getting you're lucky in a 20-inch barrel 6.8 SPC to get 2,600 feet per second with a 110 grain bullet or a 2,700 feet per second. So you're lucky there. Yeah, you're getting more foot-pounds of energy, but unless you have a true steel core armor penetrating bullet as a military round, no, it should not. I don't think so.
Well, in a way bigger diameter.
So I think we're backpedaling a little bit. So remember, we kind of went with 5.56 so we could carry more ammo. And I wonder if we really need to be backpedaling on the experience of how much heavier bullet weighs as we move into a period of time where young men going into military service are less capable.
Yeah, I can agree with what you're saying there. The main reason we went 5.56 though was also because it penetrated the armor at the time. So anybody wearing body armor at the time, the 5.56 was fine. And then, I mean, some Air Force general was impressed by it, and that's why we did the 5.56. But flak jackets and Kevlar armor at the time, it goes straight through. Now we have great plates that it can't penetrate, or at least not penetrate well. So that's that.
From the inside of the military, there was another thought process too, which was getting guys to actually pull the trigger on their rifles. So we had just gone through 3 wars where we discovered that about 20% of the people were actually shooting their weapons. And so the goal was to get guys to put rounds down range as fast as possible. And you can't do that with a heavy caliber rifle, not capable of a high rate of fire. And so the M16 was the dream come true, right? The 5.56, you could run off 30 of those rounds in 8 seconds.
Yep. Yeah, good point for Second Amendment Canada here. Clock 22, 23, 27. Gen 5s are out with thicker slides and stronger than previous gens. Cool. I love my Falcor Petra and 300 Win Mag, but it's way out of I'd love one, but it's way out of my price range. Yeah, me too, buddy. What's up, Mario Mosen? So you got Nighthawk Medic in here. He's like the Shaq of the YouTube world. He's everywhere. Okay, he's everywhere. Yep. I'm a dirty girl and you like it. Oh, wow. You two need to get a room. All right. Let's see. How is ammo in Alaska? Oh, my local shop just got a big order of buffalo bore in. The only thing on the shelves are like 375 rum or 338 rum, 375 Ruger, 375 H&H, and then like 257 Roberts and 25-06 and 6mm Remington and 6mm Creedmoor and 260 Remington. Those are the only thing on the shelves. So, yeah, used to be a Colt. Yep, Canada. Sorry, man, Canada. Yep. Yes, Timbuktu is a real city in Africa. Look it up. All right. Okay, the whole world should have 2A. No government made us. God did. So take your own conclusion. Exactly. What about 338 Win Mag? Love my 338 Win Mag. Absolutely love it. All right. There's a shop here in town selling ball 380 for $2.50 a round. Yeah, they're price gouging. That federal guy should know to be more diplomatic. Second Amendment for Cameron. I love you guys too. You just got to get rid of that crown and you will have 2A. No more people with wigs in courts. There you go. Yep. I got some Fort Scott munitions to test. Haven't tested any of the handgun rounds. I've tested that 7mm 08. That video will come out sometime soon. Federal CEO can say whatever he wants, instantly sell everything they make for 2+ years. So, haven't given my Springfield a chance to break. It's just like most people. I hate to use what I have at this time, but I have complete confidence in it. There you go. Has a 375 H&H lost popularity in Alaska? Yeah, I would say. I mean, it's still probably more popular here than anywhere else in the country. When I was a kid on Kodiak, it was the preferred bear gun. I don't see a lot of coverage on them these days. I'm sure there's a lot of them. My brother-in-law has one. My buddy that goes film with me has a 375 Ruger. I think the 375 H&H is better to shoot than a 338 Win Mag. And it's the difference between 40 and 45. 45 recoils more, but it's a push and not a punch like the 40. The 40 Smith & Wesson kind of punches that recoil. Same thing's true with the 338. It's the punch. Even with the muzzle brake and a limb saver, 12, 15 rounds of 338, I'm done, But then 375 H&H, I can shoot 40, 50 rounds before I'm done. It's that push, okay? Especially if a lot of it's practicing in different positions, not just bench rest shooting, So Nighthawk Medic, actually, I couldn't say I never shot 50 rounds because it's too expensive to shoot 50 rounds in a row with that. I was exaggerating there. Sorry, got a little carried away. 30 rounds maybe, but at $70 a box of ammo, yeah. See, Nighthawk Medic basically pointing out that in general, over the last 30 years, men have gotten smaller and weaker. Yeah, I've gotten bigger and weaker. Does that count? 6.8 is not effective. Stick with 5.56. Plus, there's millions of those rounds available in Army depots. It will take years for Lake City to catch up with 6.8. Yep, agreed. All right. Can you have Pew Pew with Todd? Can you have ammo and Pew Pew parts delivered straight to your door? No. Pew Pew parts, yes. Parts can come straight shipped to the door. Ammo has to go through a import-export. Because the parts can go in the mail, they can go in the mail anywhere. Ammo, I cannot get it shipped straight to my door, no. All right. It has to go to an exporter in Seattle, an importer here in Anchorage, and that's usually a minimum of $150 on the pallet, and plus the weight of the ammo, and you end up spending $2 or $3 grand just on shipping the ammo here. So you buy a full pallet of it to recover your cost in the shipping here. So there are guys who go and all get in together before the crunch. They all get in together and they say, "What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?" And they all take like 300 rounds or three or four cases of this each. Right. And there's 16, 20 people. They all order a pallet together and have it shipped up here. So there are people that do that. And I need to get with those people. But not right now. All right. So, okay. Maybe he was talking to Second Amendment Canada. Get ammos and guns with a normal gun license. Only own only, no carry. Yep. You have the right to keep and bear arms, my friend. So. My Glock 17 came left from my mailman left on porch. Well, yeah, if you had licenses, I can understand that. So, what do you think of 22-250 for penetration body armor? I'm considering pulling the 2E ammo I have in 5.56, and trying it. I got some 62 grainers. I think I can get them going 3,700. We'll try it. I don't have a 22-250. I got to find one to borrow for that. And you really need a 24-inch barrel to get those numbers. We can only sew an important thing through the mail here, like elections. Oh, yeah. The gun in my thumbnail pick is my MG 2.0 chambered to 40. There you go. All right. Did you find 4570 dies yet? No, I haven't. I actually haven't been looking for them. I need to, but I haven't been looking for them. I found 6.5 by 284 Norma, and I found 338 Win Mag. So I was happy with that find. That was a good find. And with that, I have caught up with the chat. So we're going to end the chat tonight. Nighthawk, talk about what Nighthawk, talk about what you have coming up on your channel.
Well, we've done a lot of shotguns, so we're going to transition over to a couple of affordable. You can actually find pistols and some interesting ammunition calibers that may still be available on your shelf. Thanks for having me in. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah,
no problem. Absolutely. That's one thing I've been doing lately is shotgun ammo still all over the place, especially 20 gauge here. Not so much the 12 gauge slugs and buckshot, all right, which I'd already stocked up on. But I got the duplex 20 gauge shells the other night. So I was thinking about doing a 20 gauge bear protection video. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Cherry City, what you got coming on? Tell everybody about your video today, and the next one's coming out next week and everything. And congrats, Cherry City, for hitting 1,000 subscribers and getting monetized and all that stuff. There you go.
Woo.
Thank you. I'm honestly about 6 videos deep. I'm getting pretty far ahead of stuff. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to put out this next week. I went out and shot 4 22 pistol videos this last Saturday. I've got lots and lots and lots of 22 ammo, and a lot more than that than I have of reloading components. So I'm gonna start sprinkling a lot of 22 videos in there. And plus, I mean, I just love 22. It's just so much fun. Today was the 22 conversion kit for the from CMMG for the AR-15. Speaking, you're talking about the Taurus the other day or earlier. One of the videos I shot was the Taurus TX22, and I really like that pistol a lot.
Cool. You need a waterfowl load penetration test. So what should I do a waterfowl load penetration test in? That ruins ballistic gel. Shotgun test, getting all those BBs out of ballistic gel. Ooh.
Inch of what do you call it? Plywood at 50 yards.
There you go. Yeah, I'd love to do that. I believe Buffalo Outdoors already has that video. I might be wrong. So for me, I'm not really worried with waterfowl about penetration. I'm worrying about pattern. Because if it patterns well and you shoot straight and you make the right shot, you're going to hit the duck in the head. It's going to penetrate through. Using number 6 shot on the goose, that's different, my buddy who helps me with camera work, he bought a really cool 12 gauge load the other night. I thought about buying them because I was in the shop the night before, and I was like, I bought a rifle scope instead. That was $360, so I didn't buy their ammo. But it was a Hornady defensive load. It's lead 12 gauge BBs, nickel plated in a 3-inch. That was the load as a home defense.
Holy cow!
Yeah, lead BBs, nickel plated. All right,
What's
what do you
the
think
velocity?
I'd have to go look at the box downstairs. I don't know, but I think they were 3-inch, or they might have been 2 3/4, but a high brass load. I'd have to double check. It was definitely a high dram equivalent, or whatever you want to call it. So, Cherry City, what do you think about that load?
Sounds dynamite. I mean, I've not had any experience with it, but it sounds pretty cool.
You're not breaking into my house again tonight, are you? So, all right. Now with that,
I stumbled across, talking about that kind of stuff. I stumbled across the deal of all deals at a state sale, a state 2 3/4 inch double up buck, 25 round boxes for $5 a box.
And how many of them did you buy?
All of them.
Yep. All right, guys. So great chat tonight. A lot of good things from the chat. Good night, freedom for all. Yep. So there's a Second Amendment Canada. There's a good Facebook group called World Gun Owners Association. You need to get on that and start planning stuff. I have a problem with Wayne LaPierre taking my money to go to France on a pleasure trip and using company money, not his own money that he saved up for that. All right, I have a problem with that. But if he were actually helping the people of France fight for gun rights, he's not. He's begging for money probably. But then I would have I'd have no problem with it, because it is a human right to keep and bear arms against those who would hurt you and your government that would restrict your rights. It is a human right. Okay. We want to never have to use that right. We don't want to be violent people. But that is your human right to do that. Okay. So God bless. Take care. We will see y'all at the range.
Bye, everybody.